Hello, Charis from Malloy here. Today I'm going to talk to you about something a little bit unprecedented by stuff I've talked to you about before. And Terry, by the way, cut any of this that you want. You'll make it good. Yeah, okay. Don't put that in. This is something that most people don't really spend much time thinking about, but maybe you should, and I'll tell you why. I have heard different studies and I've read different books on why you should and when you should and why you shouldn't as soon as maybe the regular medical birthing industry will tell you to and all of these things. But I'm going to put it for you in a really easy, visual, comprehensive way so you can understand what it is that you're doing when you cut the cord too early. So you've got egg, sperm, combine, create, zygote. They go down and, well, it goes down and embeds itself in the wall of the uterus. If no egg embeds itself in the wall of the uterus, then ladies, you get your period. If an egg embeds itself in the wall of the uterus, ladies, you don't get your period and you're pregnant. Now, this is very soft and pillowy and cushiony, and so the egg burrows itself down in there, and that is when the baby starts to grow. And so that egg cell now splits into baby, umbilical cord, and placenta forms from that wall of the uterus that the egg has now buried itself in. So you've got this creature growing and it is completely unified. The baby is connected to the umbilical cord with no separation. The umbilical cord is connected to the placenta with no separation ever from the time of conception. So this is one creature. Baby, umbilical cord, and placenta. Most of us think of them as separate, but they're actually not. They're all connected, and the placenta has the blood supply that the baby gets from the mother. After your baby is born, the placenta is pulsing, and usually people clamp it and cut it right as soon as the baby is born, but what they don't realize is that as the placenta is pulsing, blood is not going back and forth. It's just going from the placenta to the baby. That is the baby's blood in the placenta coming through the umbilical cord into his body or her body if it's a female child. If you haven't noticed, when babies are born, they are really hungry. And after you give blood, how do you feel? Really hungry. So, if this child has had this umbilical cord and placental blood helping it its entire life, 9 months of life in the womb, and rather than letting all of that oxygenated blood that's still oxygenated from being in the placenta that has just detached from the mother's body, if you cut the umbilical cord before it stopped pulsing, then the baby does not have a significant amount of its own blood that has been intermittently coursing through its body during its entire period of life. So that explains why babies that are born are groggy and uncomfortable and really hungry, because they don't have probably about a third, maybe even half of their own blood. The placenta is pretty big. There's a lot of blood vessels in there. It's a lot of blood. So the question here, what to do about this? Some people think that waiting to cut the umbilical cord is kind of skeevy, but what I say is wait till it stops pulsing. It'll stop pulsing on its own, and you know what? If you wait till it stops pulsing, then a lot of times it coagulates itself, and you don't have to worry so much about clamping and seepage and leakage and all that kind of stuff. The baby is meant to eventually separate from the placenta. It's natural, and coagulants will come and shut down that opening of the blood vessels from the baby to the placenta after it's done getting all of its blood from the placenta. This is a really easy thing to do. Moms, pregnant moms, expecting to be pregnant moms, you might have to discuss this with your doctors because I don't think it is commonly practiced in birthing institutions, whether they be hospitals or birthing centers. I don't really know. This is probably something you'd ask about, though, because I have never heard of a doctor just doing this as a matter of course. So do ask about it. Think about it. It's a new paradigm shift, I know, but what would the difference be if you lost maybe a leg and all of the blood in it versus if you have all your blood and you're happy? This is something that might change the face of newborn care, because if your baby is more healthy and happy and aware and awake and has all of his own blood and doesn't have to quickly make a lot more from eating, which is why they go to the bottle or to the breast pretty darn fast after they're born, then you might have a whole different first few days as a parent, and your baby might be different the whole way through. Thank you for watching, and I hope that this video makes some babies have more of their rightful blood after they're born, because I'm sure it's an uncomfortable experience anyway. We want to make it as pleasant for them as we can, don't we? Thanks, and have a great day.